There was, and I think there continues to be this big push in the industry for internal audit to be a trusted advisor to the business. And there's all these presentations and charts floating around about evangelizing that. And the problem is, we'd sit down with our business partners and make a lot of assumptions. We assumed that they knew who we were. We assumed that they trusted us. And quite frankly, we assumed that they even wanted to be in the room with us. and I had experiences with folks where I'd be coaching them where they would get that feedback from someone. Like I remember there was the CIO one time told somebody on my staff, like, what makes you think I want to even be in the room with you? And, there's a poor staff person's like, oh my God. And I'm like, it's okay. But the point being here is that, you have to spend time to establish any relationship. And so you wouldn't meet someone on the street and say hi and then say, oh, by the way, we're in a relationship and we're going steady. The person would step back and be like, okay, first of all, you're really creepy. And secondly, I'm definitely not going to work with you. And so the idea is not bad at all. It's just that I think most auditors and even CAEs, I think in particular, believe that because they have this mandate from the board and this mandate through the audit charter, that people are going to sit down with them and we have an arranged marriage that was arranged by the powers that be. And just like arranged marriages, those don't always work very well. So you've got to build every single relationship one by one over time, just like you do in your personal life. And just like in your personal life, you have to realize some people are never going to be in a close relationship with you, no matter how hard you try. And so that doesn't mean you have to give up on that. You just have to figure out how to navigate that particular set of circumstances.
I don't think in the 5 years of doing this, we've heard that, which is very true. And in that some people just don't want to have that relationship, and nobody's ever really come out and said that before. So I think that's probably a solid takeaway for a lot of people to hear that,
scary.
Know that, and be okay with it. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, honestly, when I was reflecting back on all of this, that was one of the scarier moments in my relationship. That was, I won't say the company, but it was the CTO. And of course, internal audit was supposed to be partnering with the CTO's team on all kinds of super important things. And he just was having none of it, regardless of how much conversation we had, regardless of how much we really tried to, hear and yield to what they were trying to do. And it reached an inflection point because we had hired one of the big four to do a certain exercise. And he, without talking to us, went and hired the big four to do a certain exercise and set the due date to be about a week ahead of ours. And it was probably one of the messiest experiences of my career. And I'm generally a super nice guy. Like, that's why I wanted to meet you, because I've always been impressed with sort of your user interface with folks. And I literally had to take him in a conference room and sit down. You may want to edit this out. I'm not kidding. I am kidding. I was like, we're not f***ing doing this anymore. Like, you are not going to take us to the audit committee meeting and drop this assessment in front of them to get us. I'm like, we're just not going to do that. And I was thinking in the back of my mind, well, I wonder how much is in my 401k. And I wonder if I get a second mortgage, what am I going to do? Right. Because living in California is not the cheapest thing in the world. But the funny thing about it was he actually respected that. And the relationship changed. But it literally took going all the way to that place and saying, this just isn't working. Like, we've tried everything. And so something has to change.